and all the bullshit I've been through.
Hi, this is Richard Ortiz with The Fighter's Voice. Voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so does the middleweight contender, Kilo the Kid Madera, as well as top promoter Rick Merigian, who's taking care of all promotions here. Come November 11th, Fresno Savemart Center, November 9th. We're going to talk about Kilo accepting this fight, this challenge, this opportunity that's been given to him when so many have turned it down. Kilo, why are you the one to accept this opportunity to fight anybody on ESPN, on national TV?
Well, first and foremost is I'm thankful to be here. Thank Rick for having me on the card. I'm just hungry, man. I just really want it, at the end of the day. And I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get the spot, keep the spot, and be the main attraction following Jose's footsteps behind him.
Rick, so many other fighters around this area have the opportunity to accept the fight here on national TV, to make a career move, a step forward. Why Madera accepted it when the others just kind of contemplated for whatever reason?
I wish I could answer that for you. If I was a fighter, I would have jumped on the opportunity. I mean, these guys from around here that have been given an opportunity to fight over the past 4 years and do something with the sport, this is the dream come true. Like, if you're a fighter, this is what you do. So when you get ESPN to broadcast to 100 million people worldwide in your own city with 15,000 hometown fans, the ESPN executives, the Max Kellermans of the world, the Teddy Atlases of the world, Bob Arum sitting ringside, and you don't want to fight? I can't figure it out. It would be the equivalent of someone coming to me and say, hey, I got Mayweather and McGregor here, you want to promote it? I got Canelo and Triple G, Rick, you want to promote it? And then me saying, oh, no, that's not big enough, I'm okay. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. But definitely that's why he's on the card. He understands the opportunity that was here, and like he always has. He has had the roughest road there is. When he got his top rank contract, I told him and sat him down and said, look, you got the hard road. You're going to have to fight your way to an opportunity, and that's what he's done. He is not shied away from any fight. He went into his last fight at the Savemart Center with Lopez as an underdog. Hell of a fight, too, from Joe. Hands down, Fight of the Year candidate. But he took the fight. Madera took the fight with no hesitation. And he's continued to do that. He's tried to fight everybody around here. He wants to establish him as the prospect out here. And I think he's done so. So, Richard, I don't understand it. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It is.
You got hotel ballrooms and small fights and those kind of things where most of these guys are going to fight and be on. How do you pass this up? I mean, I thought that it'd be appreciated and they'd love it, but hey, I guess they got a plan. So
I understand there was one big name that was thrown your way, and I caught wind of it. I did my homework, as I always do. I talked to both parties, and I was looking for that fight to happen, the anticipation. I know there was one, and I'll call it the one out of the three, because there's three other middleweights in your weight class. With this golden ticket, this golden opportunity, but I know there was one that stepped up, and for whatever reason, it didn't pan out because of networks or promotions. But to you, it didn't matter. You always had the same game plan. We spoke off camera, and you said every name that was thrown at you, you said, Richard, I'm going to win the fight. And with that mentality, you're willing to accept every challenge thrown your way. What do you see come November 11th that's going to be different this time around than all the other obstacles and challenges you faced in your career and life?
I mean, I'm going to do the same thing I always do,
And that's?
Go and do my work, do the best I can. I mean, I see another knockout, to be honest. I see when you catch me fighting in the ring, I only see three things happening. Either I'm going to knock somebody out, beat the crap out of somebody, or I'm going to sit there and bang with somebody and we're going to fight to the death. I don't really see anybody going in there and knock me out, and I don't see anybody going in there and beating the crap out of me. Those are the three things that happen.
Why is that? Why do you think you accept the fight when others have turned it down? What's different about you? I know you personally. But tell the listeners, the viewers, what's different about you?
Well,
What's inside Kilo Madera?
I mean, I'm a lion at heart. Like, I mean, this is really what I do. Like, this is really what I'm good at, and this is really what I want. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of it comes with too, lack of opportunity, and at the same time, because I know I got a harder road to go too. I'm not gonna have the golden passage to get built and get to the top, and at the same time, I want to get there faster.
Right.
And I want to become a priority in the sport, and that's the road I have to take.
Rick, we'll say Kilo Madera is successful on November 11th. One, he took the fight. One, he took the opportunity. What's in store for Kilo Madera?
I mean, he keeps fighting. I've got some stuff lined up for the first of the year. He's absolutely going to be a part of it, no matter what. I think what's different about him than a lot of guys is that he's really in this to fight. Like, he's a real fighter, and it doesn't matter what business you're in, the fight business, if you sell computers, if you work at a radio station, business is not just skill or luck, it's also timing and opportunity. And some people see that and they seize those opportunities while others watch. You're not necessarily the best fighter that's out there and you're just gonna automatically get there. You're gonna have to pick some opportunities and fights in order to showcase yourself and move up the food chain and get some eyeballs on you. He realizes that. So I think that's what's different. Some of these guys, look, I think they're out here fighting to hang out in the nightclubs, maybe get a few girls. I think they're fighting to say that they're fighters. I can't say that a lot of them are real fighters that understand what's going on. Because again, if you knew how hard it was to land a fight like this in Fresno, not New York, not Los Angeles, not Madison Square Garden, not Staples Center, not the Phoenix Airlines Arena in Arizona, but Fresno, if you knew how hard it was to land this opportunity, how can you not see something like this coming into your city? It's in your city, like, you're a fighter from here. So that's the difference. He's really in this all or nothing, do or die, fight anybody on his way up. And some opportunities he knows, look, he fights a big name or he fights in a tough fight. He fights a prospect equal to him out here or better. He knows that there's a no-lose situation for him because he knows he's going to put a hell of a show on. And there's so many people watching that he's going to build that many more fans, just like he did last December and on a Univision Fight of the Year candidate with Joe Lopez. And like I said, Joe didn't lose anything out of that fight either. Joe gained a ton of fans out of there and put a hell of a show on. But Madera sees that. A lot of guys, they got a different mentality. So, you can't help everyone, and I've seen that the past, 4 years. That's the difference.
Kilo, not only you accepting the fight to fight, you've accepted to fight the other middleweights in this area. And why do you think they turned it down? Why? Why is it? When they proclaim to be the best in their area, but yet you went vocal, you went on social media and said, hey, I'd like to get it on with you in the ring.
Well, one fighter we couldn't make it happen because of companies and there was just term issues.
Right.
So he was willing to take it. It just couldn't happen, company-wise. Other fighters, I mean, there's really no reason why he didn't take it. I mean, for me to get moved into this, I mean, he pretty much gave me the cake without having to fight for it, and I mean, that's great for me. I don't care, but not really, because I would have loved to get the fight. So
that can still happen in the future.
Yeah, for sure. It can still happen in the future.
Yeah, but happening in the future on a different show. This is the show where both sides want to come together and capitalize. They make more money. They get more exposure.
This is the audience you want.
Absolutely. You've got the who's who of the boxing world literally in front of you to fight for. So if you live and die and you're a fighter, and that's what your life surrounds yourself with, and you wake up every morning and you train and you run and you spar and you eat right, this is when you fight. This is it, But again, fighting on other cards, timing is everything. You're gonna fight at a small card, or a hotel ballroom, or you're gonna fight at a small casino. Fight won't have the same magnitude. On this fight, it would have, just like he did with Lopez. So he kind of suffers a little bit by willing to step up and not having someone match him to capitalize on it as well. No one loses in a fight like this. At 7-0, these fights that he's taking are big fights for him. You know, he's 7-0 taking tough fights. Guys don't do that. That's a throwback to a different time. You know, when he says he wants to fight you, he's dead serious. You could throw a contract in front of him and he'll sign it. So he has put himself in big fight situations for the level that he's at right now, you know, record-wise and so forth.
How do you see this fight taking place?
Against my opponent?
Yeah, absolutely. Play it out in your mind from the walk into the ring.
In my head, I see myself, him being aggressive and me being aggressive also. I see me sticking behind my jab and working my jab and hit him to the body, both sides, and 1-2s right hands, and either knocking him out with the right hand or a hook or a right hand hook.
I'm going to go there, Kilo. Okay, and how would you? The other guys that decline, how would you fight them? How do you see that fight taking place? If you feel comfortable giving a name, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay.
I think the fight with me and Mark would have been pretty classic. Just because I know he brings heat and he fights, you know, and he's a good fighter. And we've also had good sparring matches, you know, we went at it, you know. I think that would have been a good fight. I think I would have did a lot of different adjustments and throughout the fight, just doing different things, you know. But I think that would have ended up being a war, you know. The fight with Daniel, I see it more like him trying to box and jab and move around on me. I don't see him trying to fight with me for sure. I don't see him taking my power for sure. I've seen him fall a couple times already, and if I hit him, it would be way worse for sure. So I see him trying to move away and run away and maybe jab and, you know, try to counter me and, you know, try to like do more of a dance. But I just see myself, you know, staying behind my jab, working up and down, you know, cutting off the ring, throwing my own counters in there, you know, and just landing hard shots overall, you know, coming after him, you know, breaking him down.
Yeah.
Just at the end of the day, really just doing the same thing. I mean, the same thing as last one did to him, but just way worse. You know, he could have fought his way and probably won that fight if he really, really wanted to, I feel like. But you never know what's going on, you know. But I'm just saying from what I saw, you know, you're going to have to freaking...
You know,
for me to
you are a student of the game because you described two different fighters and you described two different game plans, which is a student of the game. You're not just one-dimensional. So those are some exciting fights that I hope to see in the future. I agree with you. Mark and you would have been an absolute, it would have been a great fight for the city of Fresno.
Yeah.
And I hope to see it come soon. That's all I got to say. From the weigh-in, from the press tour, I can see this happening. And when I talked to Mark personally about it, there was a conversation of respect. And but he knew what he was getting ready for. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. For whatever reason. I reached out to Daniel several times. I haven't been able to make contact with Daniel. I'll continue to reach out. We're friends. I just wanted his take. You know, I wanted to see what he thought about your verbal challenge, your media challenge at the time. Yeah. Hey, it doesn't get any better than that. November 11th, Savemart Center, ESPN, Jose, the Avenal Kid Ramirez, the headliner. Get your tickets. Get a hold of The Fighter's Voice, thefightersvoice.com. We'll take care of you with some tickets. We'll lead you in the right way. We got Kilo, the Kid Madera. Took time out of his busy schedule today. We're talking about work ethic, 1A. We're talking about Rick Meridian. The man never sleeps. The man never dreams. And he's still here. But he's dreaming of someday Kilo, the Kid, bringing the crown back to Fresno as well as Jose. It's a wrap here. Fresno, California, The Fighter's Voice. Thumbs up for Richie.